During a rainy evening in New York City, Barron Trump, the youngest son of a former U.S. president, sat quietly in the back seat of a taxi, watching raindrops streak across the window. The driver, Michael, sighed heavily, his voice tinged with despair. As they hit another red light, Michael began to share his struggles: mounting bills, a sick child at home, and a family on the brink of emotional collapse. Barron listened intently, his usual reserved demeanor softening. The raw vulnerability in Michael's words pierced the silence, revealing a story of hardship that struck a chord in the young passenger. The rain fell in unrelenting sheets as Barron Trump's car moved through the sodden streets of New York City. While the rhythmic drumming of the rain might have lulled others into quiet thought, Barron found his attention fixed on the taxi ahead of him. Through the fogged rear window, he noticed the slumped figure of the driver, a posture that seemed weighed down by more than just the day's weather. Intrigued, he instructed his driver to pull over when the taxi unexpectedly veered off to the side of the road and stopped. Ignoring the hesitant looks from his bodyguards, Barron stepped out into the rain. Approaching the cab, the driver, startled by the knock on his window, revealed a face etched with exhaustion and despair. Barron gently inquired if the man was okay. The driver, Michael, broke down, his voice trembling as he shared his struggles. His family was starving, his wife's medical bills were insurmountable, and he was drowning in debt. The hopelessness in Michael's voice struck a chord with Barron, who, despite his privileged life, felt deeply moved by this raw human pain. With genuine compassion, Barron asked how he could help. Michael hesitated, unsure how to respond to this unexpected kindness. Recognizing Barron as a public figure, he admitted that he didn't believe anyone could help him escape his dire circumstances. Barron, unfazed, handed him a small card with his assistant's contact details, his calm demeanor reassuring. "Meet me tomorrow morning," Barron said, his voice steady. "Let's figure something out." As Michael watched Barron walk away, his tears mixed with the rain. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of hope, a chance that tomorrow might hold the beginning of a brighter chapter. The next morning, Michael stood nervously outside the grand entrance of the Waldorf Hotel, clutching the card Barron had given him. His clothes were damp from the morning drizzle, and his mind raced with doubts. Was this real? Could someone like Barron Trump, a teenager from a billionaire family, truly care about a struggling taxi driver? Steeling himself, Michael walked into the luxurious lounge, where Barron greeted him warmly. "You came," Barron said with a reassuring smile. Michael nodded, his voice trembling as he began to recount his struggleless wife's battle with cancer, mounting medical bills, unpaid rent, and the heartbreak of being unable to provide for his children. Barron listened intently, his young face etched with concern. When Michael finished, there was silence for a moment before Barron leaned forward, his voice steady and sincere. "Here's what we'll do," he said. Barron outlined his plan with clarity and purpose. He would cover Michael's wife's medical bills and pay off his debts, giving the family a clean slate. But Barron didn't stop there. He spoke with conviction about the importance of rebuilding, encouraging Michael to believe in himself and his ability to rise above his circumstances. "This isn't just about money," Barron explained. "It's about creating a better future for you and your family." Michael's eyes filled with tears as he struggled to comprehend the magnitude of Barron's generosity. "Why would you do this for me?" he asked. Barron smiled faintly. "Because I can, and because you deserve a second chance." For the first time in years, Michael felt the weight of despair lift, replaced by a glimmer of hope. Barron's belief in him planted a seed of confidence, a chance to start anew and build a life filled with dignity and possibility. After covering Michael's debts and medical bills, Barron Trump went a step further, determined to help Michael rebuild his life. During a follow-up meeting, Barron asked Michael about his dreams. Stunned by the question, Michael hesitated before admitting that he had always wanted to run a small taxi business, something reliable that treated drivers with dignity. Barron nodded thoughtfully. "Then let's make it happen," he said with a calm determination that left Michael speechless. Barron connected Michael with a team of professionals, including financial advisors and business consultants, to help him draft a plan. His investment covered the initial costs, permits, vehicles, and operational expenses, But Barron made it clear this wasn't just a gift. This is an opportunity, Barron told him. I believe in you, but you need to believe in yourself too. With his family's encouragement and Barron's unwavering support, Michael threw himself into the work. He pored over spreadsheets, met with advisors, and navigated the complex process of setting up his business. However, the journey was anything but smooth. Permits were delayed, cars broke down, and some of his initial hires quit unexpectedly. Each setback tested Michael's resolve, and there were moments when he felt the weight of failure pressing down on him. During one particularly tough evening, as Michael struggled with the budget, his teenage son Danny approached him. "Dad, I got a part-time job," Danny said quietly. "I can help with the bills." Overwhelmed with emotion, Michael hugged his son tightly. "You shouldn't have to worry about this," he said. But Danny shrugged, adding, "I learned from you, you never give up." Michael found renewed strength in his family's faith in him. Slowly but surely, his business began to take shape. News spread about Michael's fair treatment of his drivers, and more people wanted to work with him. Customers appreciated the reliability and personal touch his company offered. Barron, who had been quietly observing Michael's progress, visited again, bringing words of encouragement. "You're proving what I already knew, that hard work and determination can change lives," Barron told him. Michael's business wasn't just a source of income, it became a symbol of resilience. Supported by his family and Barron's belief, Michael proved that even in the face of adversity, it's possible to rebuild and thrive. The air in Michael's small apartment was thick with tension as he held the envelope Barron Trump had handed him. The card itself was unassuming, but what lay within carried life-altering potential. Michael opened it carefully, his hands trembling. Inside was a handwritten note and a check for $10,000. Barron's words in the note were as kind as they were profound. "This is just the beginning. You've worked so hard for your family, and it's time someone recognized that. Don't give up hope. Tomorrow you'll see what I mean." Michael's knees buckled as he leaned against the taxi for support. Tears streamed down his face, a mix of disbelief, gratitude, and overwhelming relief. For the first time in years, he felt a glimmer of light breaking through the suffocating darkness. Rushing inside, he called out to his wife Lisa, who sat weakly on their worn-out couch. Their children, wide-eyed with curiosity, gathered around as Michael read the note aloud and revealed the check. Lisa, frail but smiling, reached out for Michael's hand. "This can help us, Michael," she whispered, her voice trembling. "It's a second chance." Over the next few days, Barron's assistant worked closely with Michael to gather the necessary information, medical bills, overdue rent, and other financial burdens weighing down the family. While Michael was relieved to see progress, he couldn't shake the feeling that Barron's generosity was about more than money. A week later, Michael was invited to meet Barron again. The location this time was unlike anything he'd ever imagined, a grand estate outside the city. Nervous but hopeful, Michael arrived with Lisa and their children in tow. They were greeted warmly by Barron and his team. Barron guided them through the estate, stopping at a modest but beautiful house surrounded by a small garden. "This," Barron said with a smile, "is your new home." Michael froze, unsure if he'd heard correctly. Lisa's hand flew to her mouth as tears filled her eyes. "This can't be real," she whispered, her voice breaking. "It's very real," Barron assured them. "This house is yours, free of charge. It's in a better neighborhood, with good schools for your kids, and closer to the city for your new business." Michael fell to his knees, overcome by emotion. "I don't know how to thank you," he said, choking on his words. Barron helped him to his feet, smiling warmly. "Thank me by succeeding," he said. "Show the world what someone can do when given a second chance." The family moved into their new home the following week. For the first time in years, they felt a sense of security and hope. The children explored their new rooms with excitement, while Lisa, though still battling her illness, smiled brighter than Michael had seen in a long time. Despite this newfound stability, Michael knew the journey ahead wouldn't be easy. His taxi business was still in its infancy, and challenges arose almost immediately. One of his drivers got into a serious accident, leaving the business in chaos. repairs were expensive, and the injured driver needed financial assistance for medical bills. Michael sat in his living room, the sound of his children's laughter filling the air. His taxi business had begun to thrive, and his family's new home was a sanctuary of hope and security. Yet, Lisa's words from a quiet evening lingered in his mind. "You've been given a gift. Now it's your turn to pass it on." Inspired by the kindness Barron Trump had shown him, Michael decided it was time to give back. Reflecting on his own journey, he realized how many others were struggling to make ends meet, just as he had been. He approached a local community center with an idea, a program that would provide transportation jobs and training for people facing financial difficulties. The initiative, named Wheels of Change, offered individuals a chance to gain steady employment as drivers while learning valuable skills to rebuild their lives. Michael used the lessons Barron had taught him to shape the program, emphasizing dignity, compassion, and opportunity. As word spread, the initiative gained attention. Local news outlets featured stories about Michael's efforts, calling him a beacon of hope for the community. People began reaching out to join the program or offer support. The once struggling taxi driver was now a community leader, inspiring others to believe in second chances. Michael's son, Danny, watched his father's transformation with admiration. Motivated by both his father's determination and Barron's selflessness, Danny decided he wanted to help too. At school, he organized a fundraiser to support families in need, rallying his classmates and teachers to contribute. When Michael learned of Danny's initiative, his chest swelled with pride. "Barron didn't just change my life," he thought. "He's inspiring a new generation." Danny's school fundraiser gained traction, attracting media attention and additional donations. The ripple effect of Barron's kindness was growing, reaching even the youngest members of Michael's family. The impact of Michael's program and Danny's fundraiser caught the attention of Barron Trump. He had been quietly keeping tabs on Michael's progress and saw the potential for something even greater. Barron decided to host a gala in New York City, inviting the Trump family's network of philanthropists and investors to learn about Michael's journey and his growing program. At the glamorous event, Barron took the stage. His speech focused on the power of compassion and the transformative impact of helping others. "One act of kindness can change lives," he said. Michael didn't just take the help he was given, he passed it on. His program has already helped dozens of families, but tonight, we're here to make an even bigger impact. Barron then announced a partnership with several investors to expand Wheels of Change nationwide. The initiative would provide transportation jobs and training to thousands of struggling families across the country. As the audience erupted in applause, Michael, Lisa, and Danny joined Barron on stage. Tears filled Michael's eyes as he hugged Barron. "This all started with you," Michael said. Barron smiled. "No, it started with your courage to believe in yourself." The gala marked a turning point not just for Michael, but for countless others who would benefit from his program. It was proof that kindness, no matter how small, could create ripples that changed the world.